Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about biomedical waste management. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button and you will get link of Hindi lecture. What is biomedical waste management? Let us see the introduction part of this. Any type of waste is harmful for health of the individual, but the waste generated in the hospitals and healthcare centers and the laboratories is most dangerous, and it may affect the health of all who are there working or handling the waste if this waste is not disposed properly, because it may contain pathogenic organisms or harmful chemicals. It is well established fact that hospital waste is a potential health hazard for healthcare workers, public, and flora and fauna of the area. That's why it is important for all of us to know about biomedical waste management. The Act of Biomedical Waste was passed by Ministry of Environment and Forest in 1986 and notified the Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules in 1998. What is biomedical waste? According to Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules 1998, the biomedical waste is defined as any waste which is generated during the diagnostic, treatment, or immunization of human beings or animals, or in research activities of in these centers, in the hospital or colleges. How we can classify the biomedical waste? Biomedical waste mainly classified by two ways or two types. Number one, non-hazardous waste, and number two, hazardous waste. Between 75 to even 90% of the waste produced by healthcare sector is non-hazardous. Means all the waste in the hospital is not hazardous. Keep in mind that 75 to 90% is general waste or non-hazardous, as we can compare it with the domestic waste which we generate in our houses. The remaining 10 to 25% healthcare waste or biomedical waste is regarded as dangerous waste or hazardous waste and may create the variety of health risks. Non-hazardous waste. The non-hazardous biomedical waste come from mostly from the administrative activities or housekeeping activities in the healthcare establishment, like sweeping and cleaning, and may also include the waste generated during the maintenance of healthcare premises. It includes paper, cardboard, polythenes, fruit peeling, waste vegetable, waste food, disposal cups, etc. Now, hazardous waste. The hazardous waste is further classified into different categories according to this biomedical rule 1998. Category 1 includes the human anatomical waste. We can say human tissue, organs cut out during the surgeries, body parts including blood and other body fluids. This comes in category 1. Category number 2. It includes animal waste such as animal tissue or organs or body parts, bleeding, blood, fluid of experimental animals used in the research, and waste generated by the veterinary hospitals. Category number 3. It includes the microbiology or biotechnological waste, such as waste from the laboratory cultures, straw, specimen of the microorganisms, live and attenuated vaccines, human and animal cell culture used in the research, and infectious agent from the research and diagnostic laboratories. So this comes in the category number 3. Category number 4. It includes waste, sharp waste, especially needles, syringes, scalpel, blade, glass that may cause puncture and cut. This includes both used as well as unused sharp wastes like ampoules and cut ampoules, needles, etc. Category number 5. It includes the discarded medicines and cytotoxic drugs. It also includes the waste of outdated, contaminated and discarded medicines. This comes under category 5. Category number 6. It includes the soiled waste. Item contaminated with blood. Any waste which is contaminated by the blood. And body fluids including cotton, dressing, soiled plastic, plaster casts, linens, beddings and other material which is contaminated with the blood or tissue fluid. Category number 7. It includes the solid waste generated from the disposable items other than the sharp waste such as plastic tubings, catheters, intravenous sets, etc. or plastic syringes we can say. Category number 8. It includes the liquid waste generated from the laboratories and washing and cleaning and housekeeping and disinfecting activities of the laboratory as well as of the hospital areas. Category number 9. It includes the ash which come from the incineration of any biomedical waste. Last is category number 10. It includes chemicals which is used in the production of biological chemicals, products and the chemicals which are used in the disinfections or insecticides, etc. What are biomedical waste rules which we should follow? Every person who is working in the hospital premises or the healthcare setting should know the biomedical rules. The biomedical waste management and handling rule were first implemented in July 1998 and subsequently revised in 2011, and now the latest are biomedical waste management rules 2016. Failure to comply with the provisions of these rules will attract penal action as per the provisions of Environmental Protection Act 1986, which include imprisonment of a period of 5 years or a fine of rupees 1 lakh or both. In accordance with these rules, it is the duty of every occupier. Occupier means a person who has the control over the institution or its premises, or we can say HOD, to take all the steps to ensure that the waste generated in their premises is handled without any adverse effect to the human health and environment. So what are the steps of biomedical waste management? Mainly there are 4 steps: segregation of the waste, collection and storage, transportation, treatment and disposal of the waste. First is segregation, and this is the most important point or step. Every person should know about the segregation. The biomedical waste shall be segregated into colored containers or bags at the point of generation. Point of generation means the area or the time at which it is generated. it should be segregated in accordance with the schedule 1 prior to its storage, transportation, treatment and disposal. So it is the responsibility of the person who is generating the biomedical waste to segregate it separately, or who is using the instruments, he should segregate. The biomedical waste management system, we have different colored bags. You must have seen in the hospital setting different bags or containers, such as black bag or black container, red bag, yellow bag, blue bag, white and translucent bags. So what type of waste is put in which colored container, this we should know. This is the main base of biomedical waste management. Let us see. The first is black container. What waste should go in the black container? The largest amount of waste generated in any hospital setting or the healthcare setting is the black, for the black bag. So what will go in the black bag? All the general waste will go in the black bag. Okay, which includes paper, cardboards, wrapper of the syringes or IV sets, polythenes, fruit peelings, waste food, everything will go in the black bag. If you are using a disposable cup for water or tea or coffee, this should also go in the black bag. Okay. Yellow bag or yellow container. This is the most important container because it contains the hazardous waste. While black bag is not containing the hazardous waste, human tissue, organs, body part, experimental animal carcasses, body parts of the animals, organs, tissues and items contaminated with the blood, body fluids like dressing, plaster cast, cotton swabs, which is containing the blood when we are giving injection and there is a cotton. So this cotton swab should go in the yellow bag. Then the residual or discarded blood or blood components after blood transfusion, this will also go in the yellow container. Then expired or discarded medicines like antibiotics, cytotoxic drugs, including all items contaminated with the cytotoxic drugs. Liquid waste generated during the use of chemicals in the laboratory, used or discarded disinfectants. This also should go in the yellow container. Then discarded linen, mattresses, bedding contaminated with blood or body fluids, mask, PPE kit, this blood bag, laboratory culture stocks, specimen of microorganisms in the laboratories, live or attenuated vaccines, human and animal cell cultures used in the research, everything will go in the yellow container. Now we come to red container. Waste generated from the disposable items. Plastic syringes, tubings, bottles, intravenous tubes or intravenous IV sets, catheters, urine bags, syringes, without needle or with fixed needle, vacutainers with their needles after cutting, and gloves. These will go to the red container. Now, blue container. Glassware. The broken and discarded or contaminated glass, including medicine vials, ampoules, except those which are contaminated with cytotoxic waste or metallic body implants. These should go to a blue container. Okay, now white transparent container. This is for sharp waste, including metal, needles, syringes with fixed needles, or the needle tip from the uh, needle tip cutter or burner, syringe cutter or burner, scalpels, blades, or any other contaminated sharp object which may cause puncture or cut in the skin. This will go in the white transparent container. So after segregation, the first step is completed. Now second step is there. Collection and storage. The waste bags and containers should be removed daily from the wards, OPDs, or even more frequently if needed, such as from the operation theatres, ICUs, and labor rooms. Ensure that waste bags containers should be properly sealed and labeled. Okay, from where this waste has come. The waste may be temporarily stored at the central storage area of the hospital, and from there it may be sent in the bulk to the site of final disposal once or twice a day, depending upon the quantum of waste. The untreated biomedical waste shall not be stored for more than 48 hours. Transportation. The biomedical waste must be transported with care and in closed containers. Manual handling of the waste bags should be minimized to reduce the risk of needle prick, injury, or infection. Vehicles which are used for transporting the biomedical waste must have biohazard symbol. This is biohazard symbol and this is cytotoxic hazard symbol. And these vehicles this should contain. Okay, so the vehicle should have the big photographs of these symbols. Okay, like this. Okay, they are transporting and they are having the biohazard symbol. Now treatment and disposal. You have segregated, someone have collected. Now what will be done with this waste? So this will go for treatment and final disposal. First type of treatment is municipal waste. So the journal waste means content of black bag, this will go to the municipal waste bins or dust bins. Then deep burial. The category 1 and category 2 items will go for deep burial. Autoclave and microwave. The category 3, 4 and 6 and 7 may be treated with by this method before disposal. Now shredding. Contents of red bag or red container should be treated first with chemical disinfectants like sodium hypochlorite and then be shredded and sent for recycling. Incineration. The contents of yellow bag are sent for incineration and the incineration ash later this can be sent for landfill. Now general rules for biomedical waste management everyone should know. These are: number 1, all the medical professionals or who are working in medical institution must be aware of biomedical waste management and handling rules. Every healthcare institution must have all well planned training program for all category of staff. Biomedical waste should be segregated by the generator who is generating the biomedical waste and at the site of generation. All should adopt universal precautions while handling the biomedical waste. Biomedical waste handlers should be vaccinated against the tetanus and hepatitis B. Collectors and transporters like drivers should be aware the nature and the risk with the biomedical waste. Okay, they should be made aware that the waste which you are handling is having a risk and should be handled properly. And finally, biomedical waste handlers should wear the protective equipments properly while collecting and transporting the hazardous waste. My dear students, for watching such videos, you can like the and subscribe the channel My Student Support System. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and for making your notes, do not forget to visit mynursingstudents.blogspot.com and you can join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.